Look at all that money, yeah, the money that they've spent. Take another look and take some time for hemp. Don't cut trees for paper, 'cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp.
For hemp, I'm your host, Casper Leitch. On the program today, my two joint hosts and I are being joined by two amazing guests, and I'll let my joint host, Al Byrne, introduce them.
Yeah, thanks, Casper. Our couple today is from mid-central Maine, so kind of close to the Canadian friends. They got my attention. If you paid attention to our show, you remember Dr. Uma Dhanabalan being a guest, and these folks are they are cohorts with Dr. Uma. And what we're going to talk about today with them, and they come in real quick, it's Hillary and Brett, and they're going to talk about pediatric use of cannabis, pediatric infants, little kids. So let's welcome, please, Brett and Hillary. And let's get right to it. You have a farm, and what do you do on your farm? It's like you deal with children, and why, how'd you get into it?
Well, basically what happened was we have been growing cannabis together for many years. We're legacy farmers from Prop 215. I was an activist to get medical cannabis, and it passed in 1996. And Brett had, from being in the Navy, he had cancer, and he had chemotherapy, and he had surgery at the age of 35. So we've been making this medicine, and he's now 20 years cancer-free.
All right.
And it's just for our friends and family. It's never been a business. We just grow cannabis. We had a business in California, Santa Cruz Mountain Organic Growers Services. So we just had the ability to get a lot of cannabis. And then when Prop 64 came and destroyed the California cannabis community, we immediately moved to Maine, because at the time we were treating MS and Parkinson's, and we had people that used only our medicine. So we felt very much that we needed to stick with them. And then what happened was, one day I got tagged in a Facebook post, and it was a mother named Kimmy Dawn Scott. She was at St. Jude. This is 5 years ago, having a manic that she's from Michigan. She had a cannabis caregiver card. Her daughter had a brain tumor and was a patient. It was totally legal. But when she went to St. Jude, they said, take her off the cannabis, and her tumor grew 60% in 8 weeks. And the mom went live, and one of my friends just tagged me. So I told the mom, she'd been battling for years. This is a reoccurrence of cancer. She'd already had it. So I said, I will get you this medicine immediately. It's lab tested. There's 27 strains. I grow it all myself. My husband makes the medicine. I will get this to you. Well, in 6 weeks, we shrunk that tumor 60%. It never stopped shrinking until it was gone. She's now in her 3rd year being cancer-free. And that mother, Kimmy Dawn Scott, her company is called Beyond Belief. She had 100,000 followers because she was a singer. So, and an amazing woman and mom. So at that first scan, a little boy named Ben, he's Blessings for Ben on Facebook, his mom contacted us and said, can you please help us? And then it's been great. We have those scans to show you, and he's cancer-free now. And then another little girl's mom said, hey, can you help us? And we're like, we just said, Brett, as long as this is working, we should dedicate our life to this. These parents are telling me it's working, and the scans are proving it. So before long, we got a little girl named Serenity. She was diagnosed with LCH cancer, and we were able to cure her with no pharmaceuticals. Now I also have a little girl at Brooklyn at St. Jude. She was diagnosed in September of 2021. She's had 0 pharmaceuticals. So we've just kind of been put in this precarious position where we just ended up dedicating our life to these families, and it's just snowballed. And now we have families that we teach them how, the ones that live in legal states like Ohio, we teach them how to grow the cannabis. I get them the seeds, they grow it themselves. They come here, we teach them how to make the medicine, and then they give it to me and I have it lab tested for them. So they're pharmaceutical doctors. They're trained in pharmaceuticals, just like we're cannabis. Dr. Uma's a cannabis doctor. We are trained in cannabis. So what I just tell myself, because I have to, because I love all these kids, is that if you go to an oncologist, they're going to offer you chemo. If you go to a radiologist, they're going to offer you radiation. If you go to a cannabis doctor, cannabis nutritionist, they're going to offer you cannabis medicine and scientific nutrition. Now, if we could just get people to go with the one that doesn't harm them first, we would be successful.
Right.
Because we're big believers in using all the tools in the toolbox. But you should always use the one that doesn't harm first. And that the great thing about cannabis is we get results very quickly. It's not wait 6 months. We can tell if it's working. Blood work and scans. That's all we go by. And so if we can just convince people to use cannabis medicine first, that's our goal right now.
What doctors do you have overseeing your work, and how do you get scans from your patients? I mean, if you're not a doctor, you can't order a scan of the patient. And so do you have doctors overseeing what you're doing? Do you have doctors working with you on this?
Absolutely. First of all, we don't take any children that are not under the care of a doctor.
Let me ask the tough question, Brett. What's your failure rate?
Well, that's hard to say. We have great success shrinking tumors, but we also end up dealing with the side effects due to the treatments of the pharmaceutical doctors. Usually we get most of our patients at the end.
We're like Hail Mary.
Right. They've done everything else. They've gone on trials. They've done chemotherapy. They've done radiation. So by the time we get them, oftentimes they're on hospice.
Well, what are the, just for the people to know, give me the law in cannabis or in Maine.
So in Maine, what are we allowed to have? 6 plants per person?
Everyone over 21 can have 6 plants and then 6 plants for medical. So I, as a medical patient, could have 12. He can have 12. We grow for 2 of our neighbors and a friend. So we...
Right, because they don't have property. They don't have the time or the space. So we do it for them.
So cannabis is legal for people over 21 to use?
Correct. Recreational and medical. We have
and
both.
medical. And you don't lose the recreational if you got a medical.
Correct.
You still maintain the recreational plants and grow your medical ones. Okay.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brett and Hillary, my question to you is that if I, as a parent, am having a conversation with a doctor who's telling me my child needs chemotherapy or my child needs radiation, and then I'm having a conversation with you and you're telling me, oh no, just rub a little oil on their belly button and let them drink a little bit of oil and don't go to chemo, don't go to radiation. Trust us, this holistic approach is going to be just fine. I'm playing with my child's life. How do I make a decision like that and feel comfortable with it?
Well, as we said before, the cannabis reacts quickly. So typically from time of diagnosis till treatment begins is anywhere from 5 to 8 weeks. So we tell them, hey, give us 5 weeks, see what can happen, and have another scan before you go and do those radical surgeries and chemos and radiations that damage your child for life. Because we will see shrinkage within 5 to 8 weeks if it's going to work. If it's not going to work, go do whatever you want. Just give us a chance. We don't want to be the last Hail Mary chance of saving your child. We want to be the first. See if we can do something before you do that. That's what we tell them.
I understand that too, but I mean, it's kind of like telling somebody to go have a salad. You got cancer? Oh, well, here, have a salad and it'll cure you. I mean, And it's kind of hard to put your mind around just rubbing some little oil on my child's skin and letting my child drink some oil. I mean, I feel like, well, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like,
Yeah.
what?
Oh, no doubt.
Let me explain though. Does it make a lot more sense to give your child over and let people harm them and make millions of dollars and inject poison into their veins, destroy their blood and organs for life, give them necrosis, bleeding on the brain, causing shunts, causing bleeding to the stomach, causing seizures and death? I think that's the real question, is how have we all been brainwashed that we let other people harm our children? That's my question. How can any parent hand their child over when there's a medicine that works that doesn't harm the child? We fill the endocannabinoid system. We use scientific nutrition. There are tens of thousands of Harvard, Israeli studies all over. There are trials going on in Colorado right now. There are a ton of proof. So my question is, how can a parent harm their child if they don't have to and make millions of money for the pharmaceutical companies?
Right. But it does, we're not saying don't do it. We're
Right.
saying give us a chance. It's going to be 5 to 8 weeks unless they rush you in right away and start chopping, which they do because they want their millions of dollars. Every brain cancer diagnosis is millions and millions of dollars for their
And once
doctors,
they start
for
the
their
treatment, they can't
hospital.
go somewhere else. It's like, it's very political. When you get a cancer diagnosis for your child, your brain frontal lobe closes. You can't even think.
Right.
And and you actually need to learn more then than you've ever learned in your life. And it's very hard. And
they put incredible pressures on it. Believe me, I've been through it. I ended up opting for chemotherapy that I didn't need because they
scared him.
They scared me. They use this. Oh, I'm a doctor. I've gone to college for years. I'm an expert in this, and frankly, they don't know shit. They really don't.
We just know that we want families to have the legal option to try a medicine that doesn't harm before they harm. We are really against putting anything in a child's veins, in the blood. No. Perfect blood work, scientific nutrition. If you don't have a healthy gut flora and a healthy blood, you're not going to win.
Right.
Okay? You don't win.
And if you don't do the research, the doctors don't tell you, oh, your kid's going to be dim.
They're going to be dumb now.
You're going to shoot radiation into their brain and you think, oh, that's not going to hurt them. No, they're going to be affected for life if they recover at all, if the treatment doesn't kill them. And that's usually what happens. Is not the cancer that's killing these kids. It's the treatments that's killing these kids.
They die from necrosis, bleeding on the brain a lot.
From the radiation.
Wow.
So we also pair our medicine with scientific nutrition, as Hillary has said many times. So we believe in a, whole food diet, non-GMO, organic, whatever possible. We include juicing of
savory juices, not a bunch of apples and beets and oranges, but ginger, lemon, celery, greens,
kale, carrots.
How about juice and cannabis leaves? You ever tried that?
Absolutely. Yes, I make sure that my kids have cannabis leaves for their smoothies. We just put it directly in the smoothies. That way they get the whole thing. It's also non-psychoactive, so that's something they can start doing immediately to be building their endocannabinoid system. We open it slowly, hello, 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 and the kids do great with juicing. And we sprout hemp seeds. Anybody can just order organic hemp seeds, get them wherever you get your hemp seeds, sprout them, and juice them. Eat them. Hemp, it's great for kids and for everybody. Cancer destroys families. It's like one day you have a beautiful life and the next day both parents can't work. And I'll tell you, most of these families have 5, 6, 7 children. I have a little DIPG child right now, the little of 7. Now, because 1 in every 250 children in the United States gets cancer now. So if you have that
Oh,
many kids, you're looking at 1 in 30, 1 in 40, 1 in 50. So, you know, we
So if
yeah.
I'm from so if I'm from Indiana and I need to get some of this from you, do you just send me like a bottle of it and suggest that
no,
I do a
usually
syringe or two or what?
we have the families put something together where they come and meet us. You know, what I found is that people kind of want to know where they're to give something to a child. So we've had families come from pretty far away to meet
Right.
us. We grow this cannabis outdoors. We only have one harvest a year. I grow
Right.
35 strains. There's 27 strains in the medicine. Every batch has a different combination of the 35 strains at 27 strains. So it's always a tiny bit different. Like our lab testing is always a little bit different,
All right.
which is one of the things that we think gives us a lot of success because, as we all know, in everything we build a tolerance, whether it's a natural remedy, a pharmaceutical. So by having the medicine be a little different every time, that really seems to help. But in
Right.
general,
And that's part of the reason why we seem to have a lot of success is most FICO that's available in a dispensary is a single strain. And then you just have that one strain. You have just those one terpenes and it never changes. So you get used to it and your body gets used to it. And it seems like varying it up, having multi-strains, it is constantly attacking the tumors at a different angle, a different terp, a different whatever. We don't really know what's going on,
but
but
it's
it
not
seems
building a
like
tolerance,
What-
it's helping.
the
It's the
multi-strain and the variation is what really keeps it off balance and allows us
it's
to
the different strains
better.
have different cannabinoids, different terpenes, all that. So when you add all those different strains, you're getting a whole variety of different medicine combined.
And
Exactly.
I personally resourced, I found great places, a place called The Source in Arkansas. There is good medicine in California, Oregon, Washington, Michigan, Ohio, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. I mean, I advise a ton of people that do not get my medicine. I only have what I grow in my yard.
Right. And that's another thing that we do is we are educators. So we actually have some of our patients come to us and learn how to grow, learn how to make the medicine. And then that's
And then I
part of
have
it.
it lab tested for them. That's
Right.
another service
So
I
we
offer.
continue to spread. Now we have people in Ohio who are growing it themselves, making their own medicine and having extras so that they can then spread it to the next person and they can teach them.
All
And
right.
that's the whole idea is grassroots and spreading it,
Mm-hmm.
being in charge of your own health and the health
Being
of
a
your neighbor.
blessing, not a business.
Just a
Correct.
technical question, Brett, but how do you do your extraction? What do you,
Okay, well, it's simple. We just soak the cannabis in alcohol. We use extractahol,
Certified organic.
190 proof,
yeah.
organic, and after about 12 to 24 hours, I strain out the alcohol, the material.
Yeah.
We throw that away because now it's useless. And then I put that into a green oil machine, and you can buy online around $350, and it distills out the alcohol, and what's left is the medicine. And it's a process. It's not easy. It takes a couple 4 hours sometimes to complete the whole thing and get the consistency right. And so it's an art and a science to get the consistency properly that you can get it into the syringe and you can get it out of the syringe. If I take
Well,
out
you
too
use,
much,
I guess one of my points here for the customers out there or the people listening, you use alcohol, which is great.
Organic extractahol, it's
Yeah.
called
Yeah,
EXT.
well, there's other ways to do it, and
Correct.
and we don't like those ways. We want people to know that if they are going to get a fecal oil, if they ask nothing else, find out how it was extracted, and if the answer is not alcohol, you don't want it. We want you to tell us everything you can about how somebody with breast cancer can get through that problem successfully.
Well, Actually, this is so important. I'm really excited to talk about it. First of all, when you get a breast cancer diagnosis in this country, it takes about 5 to 8 weeks on average before you start their conventional treatment. There are a lot of appointments, a lot of scans, a lot of doctors. You meet with a surgeon, an oncologist, a radiologist, and none of these things happen like all in a week like you'd want to if you were the patient finding out you had breast cancer. So what my goal is with breast cancer is, if you or anyone you know gets diagnosed with breast cancer, immediately that day you go on cannabis medicine. We see results very quickly. You also go to every single appointment that you have with your doctors with the conventional treatment. You fill your endocannabinoid system orally immediately. Also, most importantly, we put the FICO directly on the breasts. We have had a woman come to us who only took the tincture, which is only 500 milligrams in 6 weeks, but she put a full syringe on her breasts every single day. And she literally put saran wrap over it, put her bra on, and went about her life. She was able, in the weeks prior, at diagnosis, she had one major mass that was being measured in centimeters, which is big, okay? Then
Now, is it this type of syringe? Is it this type of syringe that was used?
Exactly. She would use an entire syringe like that on her breasts every day after her shower, put her saran wrap on, put her bra on, and go off to work. She has two small children. It was
Bring it back up again, Casper. There you go.
All right, that's full extract cannabis oil that we talked about the last time.
Full extract cannabis oil, folks, means that all the compounds in the cannabis plant were utilized. Nothing was taken out to be special. They take the whole plant, they use it to make this oil, full extract, FICO, cannabis oil. And as Dr. Meshulam has told us years ago, that using the whole plant, you get an entourage effect, is what they call it, where your compounds, because they're all mixing together and doing different things, give you a much more profound positive effect than if you just used a few of them. And so what Casper is showing us, or you, is what this stuff looks like. You see the FICO in the syringe, the FICO in the bottle. This is what Hillary is talking about with Brett, that this is the medicine that is being administered. It's not, and notice, no needles.
No,
right?
it's an oral medication.
All right, I'm sorry, Hillary, but we want to give the audience, we want to let you guys know what we're talking about. We know, we assume a lot of people don't.
Right, no.
And then what is this? Let the audience know what came in this.
That is the salve, and actually it's a repurpose. I'm a hippie, so that's a jar from somebody else that I just repurposed because people donate. We have an egg stand, and they also drop off their dispensary jars because I just reuse them to push it hard. I reuse stuff. So
wait a minute, solve. So this is a topical. We want people, because you were talking about ingesting. Now we're talking about putting this on your skin or skin.
Right, that is the topical. At 77 degrees, it becomes liquid. Really, it's all the same medicine. One is in organic liquid MCT oil, the tincture, and one is in coconut oil. And they just, after 77 degrees, it becomes liquid anyway. But we see unbelievable results with breast cancer. The one that I've never seen, there's only one kind of breast cancer that I have not ever seen cannabis cure. Now, do I think people with triple negative breast cancer can benefit from using cannabis? Absolutely, I do. Personally, I've never seen it cure anyone, and I've seen people really try. I just think it's important that I communicate so that people know the truth. right? Triple negative is the worst kind of breast cancer you can get. If that's your diagnosis, definitely use cannabis, but continue your research.
Casper's going to say goodnight for us all here, but folks, we're going to have these guys back, so you keep watching what we're doing.
Yes, Brett and Hillary, it has been charming to have both of you on as a guest today. And Al Graham and Al Byrne, as always, it's fun to have you as my joint host here on Time for Hemp. And I want to thank you for tuning in to watch the show. Please tell your friends about us. And remember, the next time you see me, you'll know that it's Time for Hemp.
Go Team Awesome.
'Cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation. Yeah, it's time for hemp.